So how are you? All well? Can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were talking about how fortunate we are that only 1% is going to be COVID distress. 99% people are going to be all right. And how the media is blowing it up. You know, the Spanish flu, we forgot all about.
That's the work of the media.
Yeah.
That's the work of the media, to blow up things. I know, that's a sad thing, that they only pick out the negatives and they blow it up out of proportion. There is no positive news to hear, whereas there's so much good work happening. There are so many people, 93-year-olds coming out of it, people with comorbidities coming out of it, cancer survivors coming out of it. So there's no pattern really. You know, I mean, being the wife of a doctor, there is no pattern which is being followed, that only the elderly are affected or people with comorbidities are only affected. It has no pattern. So there have been deaths of young children, of young healthy people, and people who have been very unwell have come out of it.
Right. So people say that
I try not to read much about COVID. I don't like to read about it. I don't want to know about
That's the best way
it.
to
I have a slightly क्यों सुनूं मैं, जो होएगा होएगा, देखेंगे उस वक्त. I don't know. I just don't want to think of anything negative because there's enough negativity around. That's my mantra for the past many years. You know, think positive and hopefully positive things will happen.
Right. And you know what? Immunity is directly responsible to positivity.
I agree with you completely. So I've been saying this to the parents and children for the past, this is the 10th week now.
Yes.
That we can't help what's happening outside.
Yes.
We can do nothing about the virus. We can do nothing about the lockdown. What we can do, and I'm going to say this again to the people who are attending, is control how you respond to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't panic.
Yeah.
There's no reason to panic.
Your control. True.
Kya fayda?
I know.
So I have a Zoom chat with my classmates. So they asked me in the first initial days, where are you going? I said, nowhere. Why are you dressed up? I said, I dress up for me. What the hell? I mean, why should I roam out in a night suit just because I'm home? I'm going to dress up. So I dress, I accessorize my jewelry.
Yeah.
Firstly, because I'm on Zoom.
I haven't moved 1 inch from my routine, and I dress up, I get ready, I wear the best things in the morning, and
Perfect, Deepak.
I
Perfect.
don't compromise or anything.
Full on perfume also.
Same here. Bharti, so
Even I do the
probably
same.
Kinder
Even I
souls or
dress up,
something.
Yeah. You have to see my eyes. See how well made they are.
Absolutely. Why not, Amita? Why
Some
not?
of the people
Why
don't
not?
want to. I've seen some of my
Yeah,
friends
yeah,
growing beards, and some of
Yeah.
my friends not shaving. Some people are just in their night suits up to 2 p.m. in the afternoon or whatever time, and it's bad, you know.
It'll affect their mind.
Yeah.
It affects the mind. I'm
No,
convinced.
but you know, Aditi, in the beginning of
On
the
a
lockdown,
very trivial,
yeah.
on a very trivial note, I've taken out a new sari today for just because I wanted to wear a new sari.
Listen
But
to
you know
good
why
what?
not?
music.
Some people had their
Talk about-
lockdown look because they felt that, you know, let's enjoy this part also. First 10 days, 15 days. After
Yeah.
that, I got so sick of that. The lockdown look was over because there was novelty in that. Now everybody
Yeah.
is to their
I'll be missing the lockdown once it's over because I'm so happy with it. Not really happy, but it's a thing you
No,
have to.
I think both you and I have chosen to be happy because there's no point being sad. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Very true.
But I would like it to be over as safely as possible because right now working, getting papers, getting them corrected, getting coordination done, comparison of CBSE. I mean, it's just driving us batty
yeah.
because it's also, I mean, Varanasi is the same as Gurgaon. It's very hot. And I've got many of these masks made from my, I have a Pravah center, which is for skilling. I've got those ladies to make these white masks
Okay.
because I can't be bothered with matching it. So ढेर सारे white बनवा लिए मैंने.
Good.
So, Aditi, with your permission, should we begin? Because we have
Yes, please. Yes, please. Let's
we're
start.
streaming live already on Facebook. Okay.
Oh God, everybody's heard these banalities now.
Yeah, good. They've got all the positivities, which is great. So, first of all, a very, very formal welcome to you, Aditi. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this session. We've been doing this almost every week. We've been having people who are distinguished in their own field coming and speaking to our leadership team So we also, besides our own 7 branches in Varanasi, have principals, directors from all our branches all over Eastern UP. They're all listening to you and keenly waiting to get good creative ideas from you. So just for a brief formal introduction, Mrs. Aditi Mishra is a career educator since 35 years. She's an alumnus of DPS RK Puram and Lady Shri Ram College. She's worked at several DPSs, RK Puram, Vasant Kunj, Dubai, and now heads DPS Gurgaon since 2001. She's received the National Award from CBSC. She's been a master trainer for CBSC. She's authored and ideated several books for children. Her hobbies and interests included classical Indian music and dance and reading. And every time I've met Aditi on a personal note, she's come across someone who's full of ideas and so warm that you cannot but just fall in love with her once you meet her, even the first time. So thank you so much, Aditi, for agreeing, and welcome to Sunbeam, though it is virtually. And we'll hope to have you once again over with us in person to address all our staff members. Thank you so much.
The last bit is sort of reciprocal, because I've met both Deepak and Bharti, and I immediately found a lot of commonality in vision when I met them. And of course, when I met you the first time, I was immediately struck by the kind of passion and dedication you have for education. And I think that's what brings us all together in this very unusual situation. Yes. So a couple of thoughts before I begin. I have refused to, in the past 10 weeks, call these trouble times or bad times like people have generally been talking. I just prefer to call them unusual times. Because when you talk about unusual times, it's not a negative word. I always feel that words really matter. So the more you say bad time, trouble time, unknowingly you are allowing your mind and your brain to be dwelling in the thought of bad or troubled. So the first request I have to make to all of you leaders, you're all leaders in your own rights, and I've attended your schools. I've seen the one in Mughal Sarai and the one in Mao were absolutely amazing, and the one where Amrita sits, although we went after school hours, but the environment, the building speaks, so to say. So I entered a school which was shut, but it was not shut. It spoke to me. It was really beautiful. So the first request I have to all of you who are now dealing with online classes is, don't call this trouble times, don't call it bad times. Every day in every class, please remind your children, these are just unusual times and they will be over. And unusual times ask for unusual solutions, situations to be done, and we will, as leaders, rise to the occasion and create as much unusual content as possible. So let me begin by first talking about the challenges, because when the pandemic was declared, it was the first week of March. And at that time, we had no idea how India would react or respond to the situation, because there had been no official intimation till then. We, of course, heard that places like Kuwait had shut down schools and cancelled the board exam. We had for class 10 just one board exam left. That was the social science one. 12 still had about 12 papers left. Immediately, I think the first thing that we did as a school system, is we organized online class training for all our teachers. Because let's be honest, CBSE does not have the wherewithal. CBSE schools in general don't have the wherewithal to have a regular online content or delivery or classes as a norm. We do have smart classes. We do have some flipped classes also. We are all toying with the idea of blended learning. But to say that we were completely gung-ho and we just took to it like fish to water is not true. We struggled. And the struggles had many dimensions. The first dimension, of course, being lack of training for teachers. I think all of us across India faced that. Teachers were not trained. It took us about 48 hours to swing into action. And we had training because school had not shut till then. The first lockdown was on 19th. We sensed something going wrong around the 16th. So 17th and 18th were completely dedicated to teachers being in school from morning 7:30 till 4:30, only getting trained with Zoom. We had no idea how Zoom works. Now we are in love with Zoom, with Microsoft, with Google Classes, and we were trying to see what suits whom best. Because there were some teachers who were actually terrified of even the thought of reaching out to 35, 36 children remotely, virtually. So the first challenge we faced was on the lack of training, which we addressed, I think, quite beautifully, because many companies also came forward. Google came forward to provide training. Microsoft, we are a Microsoft showcase school. So Microsoft was very quick to help us, handhold us and help us get trained. The second problem was infrastructure in terms of connectivity and in terms of children not having access to devices. I think all schools, yours and ours, have a large number of children who have who come from a background which is very marginalized. So they don't have laptops, they don't have iPads. So for them, we had a very unique idea. I can share that with you. Over the past 8 or 10 years, we have been confiscating mobile phones which children bring to school. And of them, some parents, of course, beg and plead and we give it back. But we were surprised that we still had about 25, 30 phones which had been with us for a decade, and the parents had not asked for those back. So all we did was recharge those phones and hand it over to the children who were without any device at all. We called them to school and we did this. And when we gave it to them, we had already downloaded Zoom in them, and we had told the children how to use it and how the teacher, at what time she will come, because children thought it was like a movie, you know, like an app where you can anytime get into it and start looking. So we had to explain to them that no, class is going to be from 10 to 10:40. आपको उस समय उठ के इसको on करना ही होगा. We had to do the same with parents because they also did not understand how this was going to work. Some parents had devices, they had smartphones. So we immediately in front of them downloaded Zoom because we found that was at that moment the best option for them, and we sort of prepared them. Wi-Fi and connectivity remained a problem, but we found that if we were to send them smaller podcasts of the lesson, it worked because there's enough bandwidth with 4G for them to get online and get the academic content. Online content was missing. This was a big challenge which we had because now everything has to be done by the teacher. So again, we immediately made small groups like committees, and they took upon themselves the task of finding content subject-wise and level-wise. I was the committee, and I found it quite enjoyable to go online and search. I would just look for keywords, and maybe I was looking for something in social science for class 9, and I would find something in chemistry for class 7. So all I had to do was download and send it to the chemistry teacher. So a lot of sharing happened at that time. The other very surprising thing that happened in the first 2 weeks was in Delhi, NCR, a lot of our schools, I mean, you are also now, Amrita, you're part of the NPSC. The NPSC team came forward and said, let's share content. Instead of everyone reinventing the wheel separately, let's all share content. And this is something which we are open to even now. If Varanasi Sunbeam wants it, we'll be very happy to share whatever material we can. What we have also done between Jaipur and NCR, we are creating podcasts under the supervision of Professor Dr. Biswajit Saha of SCBSC. So some podcasts for 9th and 10th have been made for science, and I can share them with you the moment they're ready. I think they're to be launched on Monday as part of Vidyadan, but I'll give it to you separately. The SST ones are being made while we are talking. In fact, teachers are in the school. Some of them are working together to create some interesting content. Once that is ready, I'll send that also to you. This is only being done for class 9 and 10 now. So, I mean, immediately, I was very happy. For the first time, CBSE schools are not competing, but collaborating. We are sharing material. We are sharing content. Of course, I must admit that every school is not the same. But for the first 2 weeks of maybe end March and early April, when we are basically doing a recap, it was very helpful for all schools because we immediately sent out a lot of our worksheets and our assignments to everybody. And I must share, I was pleasantly surprised. Someone told me that, there's great material on NCTE, the National Council of Teacher Education. So I promptly went on the site and I started downloading. And to my joy and surprise, all the assignments were from DPS Gurgaon. So I said, this is my work which has somehow reached there in that source. So if you want, I can share that also, because I think in sharing, we grow immediately. The ready resources that were there, between you and me were quite expensive. That is something which both Bharti and Deepak would agree, and so would you, Amrita, that there are lots of players who have suddenly entered the field, new startups, which are all wanting to sell things to us. And frankly, we don't have the money, because it's also a time where parents think that online classes need not be paid for. That's a battle we are still fighting. But ready resources are expensive, except for Byju's and Khan's, which gave us some material free. The others are all for sale. I feel our teachers are no less than any Byju's or any Khan's. The day they get down to making content, it will be the best possible. The sixth challenge which the teachers faced was time management. And I think I faced the same, because now I am expected to be the best cook and the best cleaner, the best housekeeper, and of course, continue to run the school that I am. So for that, I have only one suggestion, because you asked me to talk about how to make teaching learning effective. Is a teacher must be stress-free. You cannot have a stressed out, tense teacher trying to deliver content, that too online when she can't see all her pupils. So for that, my only suggestion, although it comes almost 8 weeks late, is that there has to be a schedule. Like Mr. Deepak Madhok just said, he has not changed the schedule, neither have I. The only thing I have done, and I don't mind admitting, is I'm very fond of sleeping till late. So in a normal day, I would wake up at 6 o'clock to be in school at 7:30. Now I wake up at 7:30 because I have to be inside a class at 9 o'clock. But my schedule is there. So I know I have to cook from this time to this time. I know I need to do my puja from this time to this time. This is the time I'm going to do dusting. This is the time I'm going to do the sweeping and swabbing. My day is sorted. The other fortunate thing, according to me, I keep counting my blessings, is that I live on the 12th floor. So dust does not reach there every day. So I'm quite okay to dust and swab alternate days, or sometimes even once in 2 days. So it's not a problem. The last challenge, which was for me was a biggie, I thought, but it did turn out to be not so much, was the self-motivation and self-discipline of every teacher and every student, especially in senior school. Already we find that children are sleeping late, they're reading or they're watching Netflix. So to get them out of bed and in front of a class was a challenge. So that is something we had to constantly talk to them and tell them that this is, it's no big deal if you miss a class, but we're not repeating this again. The other thing was, there are some schools I know that they insist on the children wearing uniform. I did not do that. I think we have a white uniform. It's quite cruel to add that to the mother's problem, that now wash a white uniform every day. So you just told them, be decently dressed. Please don't be in a night suit and nightie, and please don't sit there without brushing your teeth, though we can't smell you, but still, it's just decent to be ready and willing to take on what's happening. So these challenges initially were a biggie for us, because we really found children not coming or keeping their video off, which was, quite rude. So we told them to put on the video, and we want to see how you're looking. We are missing you, all of that. How did we overcome these challenges? I've talked about the challenges, about 6-7 of them, but I will go through now very quickly how we overcame them. And I'll go to the post-COVID period also, because I think we do have enough time. The first way forward comes from self-motivation. For every teacher, every leader, you have to train yourself. I was not comfortable with Zoom, for example, but I taught myself. I got one of my senior students to tell me. He was tickled pink, of course, but he was the best teacher because he didn't get angry with me. He didn't get impatient. I kept asking him extremely stupid questions, but he very patiently took me through it. So if you haven't done it, do it now. If you are using Zoom, try your hand with Microsoft. Try your hand even with Google, because once the COVID is over, I'm just warning all of you as leaders, you do not know which platform will charge you how much. At that time, you may have to suddenly switch over to something else. You should not be at the receiving end for anybody. Microsoft is still, I think, the most open. They don't charge you if you become a Microsoft Showcase school. I don't know, Amrita, which platform are you using right now?
We're using both Microsoft Teams. We also are Microsoft Showcase School, 2 of my schools, and Zoom, of course, because we find Zoom very interactive for the junior school.
Same here. We are doing absolutely the same. Primary classes from pre-nursery to 5, till class 2 are with Zoom. Then we've taken a private player for the 3, 4, 5, but we're not sure how long that will last because it's quite expensive. And then we have Microsoft and Google. We've sort of spread ourselves with everybody that anything happens, anything crashes, we switch over immediately. So I think it's very important for teachers to be trained in the places where I found, I'll be honest with you, I found that Hindi teachers were not very comfortable. They were struggling. So we attached a computer teacher immediately with the class so that in case of any glitch, any problem, this would be sorted. We also had a problem of impersonations initially in the first week because other schools in Gurgaon had not started online classes. So my own naughty children gave the links and the passwords to their friends who were from other schools, and we suddenly had a class of 38, suddenly had 45 people. So the teacher was smart enough to notice and she immediately stopped because she says, who are the ones who are not in the class? Who are not part of DPS sector 45? Please move out. And then there was, children will be children. They started writing bad words she shared the screen by mistake. So then initially we attached teachers who were tech savvy with all the classes so that feeling of I have to handle the class, I have to handle the content, and I have to handle technology. I broke it up. Technology was now handled by another person. So the teacher was only concentrating on teaching and on sharing the content. I think for an online class, it's a little different because you're not meeting the children face to face. So the very important component of online teaching is set the expectations. So I had a conversation. I had a little survey done. I think all of you are using SurveyMonkey. It's my favorite survey tool. I asked the children, what time do you want the classes to start? Shall we start at 7:30 and finish by 11:30? Or should we start at 8? Or should we start at 9? 98% wanted them to start at 9 o'clock. Probably because they're sleeping till late, and they want to sleep till late. So this was my way of bargaining that, okay, I've listened to you, class will start at 9:15 now. So once I've done that, now is my time to set the expectations. So properly dressed up, you have to brush your teeth, you have to be alert, you cannot call anybody else. So these essential agreements have to be made by every teacher who's taking an online class. She cannot walk into class without having set the expectations of her children. So just like we expect them to be well prepared with the lesson, with a PPT, with a video, likewise, she must express her expectations to her class and ensure that these are followed with a lot of love. I mean, I don't think as part of my training with the teachers, I have said that this is not the time to be harsh with the children or to scold them for anything at all. We will still counsel them. Let them do the worst possible. Let them drive you up the wall. But you will not be driven up the wall. You will still talk with them. You will still address them. And if you find that they're not listening, then they will be referred to me or to the counselor because there's obviously something else happening inside the house. Let us admit it now that the incidence of domestic violence has increased. Child abuse has increased. We do not know what is happening inside our house. So let us be very, very kind to our children. They are as stressed out as us, if not more, because at least we are done with education. Our class 11 and 12 does not know what is open for them now. Again, I'll give you an example. One of our very bright kids got admission into an Ivy League college with a scholarship because her parents cannot afford the fees. She had a 100% scholarship. 4 weeks ago, she gets a letter saying that the admission still stands, but the scholarship has been withdrawn because of the COVID situation. Our hearts broke because there's no way her parents can pay. So we've written to whichever philanthropic organization we could think about, because this is a girl child, exceedingly bright. She was All India rank 2 in the 10th board exam. She's now made it to an Ivy League college, top college of the world. And should she be denied that education only because there's no money? Not fair. So this is as far as my expectation of children is, that in that stressful period, these 4 hours, they're going to be simulating something of the classroom, something of what was normal in their life till March 15th. The third thing which I will urge teachers to do is create a supportive learning environment. Do not enter a class and simply start off with, okay, today we're going to start with the French Revolution. It doesn't work. You didn't do that in the class either. You walked in, you smiled, you noticed who was absent, you chatted a little bit. So we've also given the least creative teacher has also been told what to chat about. How was your day? What did you do yesterday? Did you watch a film? Which serial are you watching? How is it? How would you rank it from 1 to 10? No harm in that. We're all humans. We all watch serials. Ask them if they cooked anything. We've been urging our senior children to learn cooking, to learn hemming, to learn how to button a shirt, to stitch on a button, learn how to clean up. Because I think these are very essential life skills which were somehow forgotten in the course of the normal humdrum. You're running to school, you're running for your coaching, you're running between this and that, and your parents are working. Gurgaon has a population of large number of parents who are both working. So the children are largely left to their own devices, and obviously child cannot self-learn how to segregate clothes, for example, or after putting them for a wash, how will they be taken out? How will they be dried and folded? So all that we urge them to do. And the teacher, in her own way, in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes, gets into this more personal chat as to what happened. Tell me something nice that happened. Tell me something which was really horrible yesterday, and what could we do to make it less horrible for you? Talk about your own day, for example. I mean, humanize the whole class in an environment which is largely tech now, virtual. The computer has become the child's support system for academics and for entertainment. So the teacher must humanize it as much as possible by introducing herself, talking about her day, getting to know the children's day, and ensuring that the children are now comfortable and ready to learn. Because learning cannot happen under stress. The fourth thing within this, as part of the, making the class a supportive environment, after every 10-15 minutes, because there's a lot being said about how much eye strain there is, after every 10-15 minutes, on the dot, the teacher stops the class, everyone closes their eyes and blinks rapidly 5 times. Immediately the eyes start watering. That's good for the eyes. Then they are asked to rub their palms and put the warm palm on their eyes. This is done after every 15 minutes. So in the course of a 45-minute class, this exercise happens 3 times, and immediately, if not completely, much of the eye strain is mitigated. This is a known scientific fact. We've asked yoga teachers, we've asked eye doctors, many of whom are part of our parent group. My fourth suggestion is use a variety of tools for better engagement with the class. Do not have only a lecture. In a face-to-face class, often we went into class with just a lecture. Why was that? Because we were the multimedia tool. We could laugh, we could crack a joke, we would, teacher is also a very good actor, you modulate your voice. Now, all that is missing. So to make that somewhat dull, drab, one-way transmission, there has to be an element of fun. So through video clips, through music, through PPT, in whatever way possible, make your class as engaging, as fun as possible, because without that, you will lose out the children. They will stop coming to class. There's no way to make sure that they do. And let there be, more trust between the teacher and the taught. I'm lamenting this climate of mistrust. The fifth one, which I don't think many teachers will like, my teachers didn't like it initially, but I've been struggling with this for 5 years and I've got some element of success, is ask for feedback from the students. Teachers were terrified of this. I said, क्यों डरते हो? क्या बोलेगा बच्चा? कि बहुत गंदी हैं आप. तो गंदे मत बनो. Build your skill. Now, I firmly believe that right from class 1 to class 12, there are certain teachers that children love. As leaders, think about your favorite teacher, for example. She may not be the one with the best command over the language. She may not be the one who had the best content on her fingertips. She was probably the one who communicated the best. So that communication, if it's effective, if it is successful, there is no harm in getting feedback. And feedback can be very non-judgmental. Again, through a Google form. Did you enjoy the class? Yes, no. Could I have done something better? Yes, no. Please explain what. So they may write, ma'am, give us more breaks. Ma'am, I didn't understand this concept. Please make it more real. Ma'am, can you show us a video regarding this? Ma'am, can we ask someone else to teach this portion? This is part of history. As you're doing chemistry, but there's some element of history inside that. So feedback is vital. We are very quick to give feedback. As teachers, we are very well like that to judge and assess a child and say this is what went wrong and this is what was not right. Why are we not open to getting some feedback? And trust me, if you tell a child that at the end of this class, beta, there's going to be a feedback form which you have to fill up for me, that child will be listening to every word because he or she wants to see what is it that he can give you feedback about to improve the class. Because in improvement, both stakeholders are going to be benefiting. The teacher will become a better teacher, the child will learn better. So it's a very tricky thing. But if you look online, Amrita, there are a lot of feedback forms for teachers. Some are pretty harsh. I've made them very soft. I've made them very, very simple, and they go only in the form of a survey monkey. So the teacher at the end of the class, and it's not done every week, it's not done every day, it's done once in a blue moon, once at the end of a concept. It could be after 10 days, it could be after 15 days, it could be after a month. But every teacher must have that form to see whether she actually made a difference or not. Was her teaching effective or not? I think it also addresses the issue of trust deficit. Why do teachers, not all, some teachers feel that children don't like me? Why? The child depends on you to guide him through these years of school. Of course, we also always say that now everybody's available, everything is available on Google. Google is the best teacher. I don't agree. The teacher is still the best teacher if she's able to guide, if she's able to facilitate learning in a certain way. Because Google is also filled with trash. So how will the teacher help the child? Removing the trash from the content is the trick right now. The fifth, am I on number 5 now or is the 6th now? 5 was feedback. I haven't numbered this. One is, which this has worked very well, especially in the 1 or 2 classes that I took. I invited the learners to contribute. So I told them a day or 2 in advance that this is what we are going to be starting, and I want you all to contribute. So I chose 5 children who would help, present something. It could be a video, it could be a PPT, it could be their own voice, it could be a poem. But we divided it in such a way that every child was able to contribute. And we have ensured that by the end of August, every child would have had some voice in the middle of the class. It could be a 2-minute contribution, it could be a 3-minute contribution, it could be anything. It ensures greater engagement. Peer learning, as we know, is the best form of learning. And it breaks the monotony of a 45-minute class. It's not the same voice droning on and on. It is a new voice. It is among your own. And children always learn better when their own language is sort of spoken. We also are encouraging peer evaluation in class. So not so much in academics, like we had a extempore. There are 5 children in class 11 were made to speak. We made the other 30 children give them the marks. We didn't get into it. Why should I? So I also find children are very, very honest in their feedback. So we somehow mistrust children. We mistrust each other. And I think that is the undoing, because without trust, we can't move forward. So I'm trying to build a community and an environment of trust so that we all share, collaborate without fearing that you will take over my position. I mean, why should I be worried that if I share something with Amrita, next thing she'll be sitting in DPS Gurgaon? She's very happy where she is. I'm very happy where I am. Now, nobody's going to get me out of here. I'm very confident about that. I know I'm doing a great job. So why should I be scared of sharing? It has always confounded me. And therefore, it has confounded me. Why don't we allow children to also contribute in the lesson, in evaluation, in assessment of each other, of themselves, and of the teacher? Make it a complete 360-degree system where everybody is able to evaluate and assess, not judge. The word judgment is horrible. We are only assessing, and assessment naturally means it has to be for improvement. And improvement will happen only when you have correct feedback. So this is also something which I've always told children, and I don't mind sharing with you. I'd say to teachers also, that for me, the easiest thing is to ignore if you're doing something wrong. How does it matter? Apne aap jailoge when the parent is upset with you or your students don't do well. But if I'm giving you feedback, I'm taking away valuable time of mine to give you something. So accept, understand, and work upon it. Because feedback is vital. I don't know why only in our country feedback is taken as negative, as criticism. I think feedback is given by people who care and should be taken by people as a view of somebody cares for me and told me where I'm going wrong. At the end of all this, inside the class, when the child has contributed, where the child has evaluated effectively, I think there must be a system of e-rewards also. So a small sticker going to the child as an email, or a little smiley going, or a bunch of flowers going. I think it's great fun. And surprisingly, even my class 12 is babies. They love it. A little star coming their way, they're ecstatic about it. So good fun. Now, at the end of all of this, when you have taken contribution from children, you've taken feedback, you've used videos, you've used the content of the schools, you've used podcasts, sab kuch karne ke baad, how will you evaluate if your online teaching is effective? So have you, Amrita, devised any way of evaluating this, if it's effective or not effective?
Yes,
Or
we have been taking feedback
from children, from the parents?
Yes. In fact,
Okay.
we've been even, besides, of course, certain surveys and feedbacks, we've been calling up individually, we've been calling up parents. When I say we, it doesn't mean only me. That's a different thing.
Yes.
Even teachers. I mean, every time I've spoken to a parent, they say, "Aapki teacher baat karke humse feedback le rahi hai and improving." So that culture is there of a feedback generally.
Okay. I have two ways of evaluating class effect.
Did we lose her for a while?
Yes, ma'am. I think the connectivity.
She'll come
Yes.
back. I'm sure she'll come back.
Yeah.
I can just see her on a screen, but
Maybe somebody needs to talk to her, ma'am. Maybe she doesn't know.
yeah. I'm just going to do that.
Vodafone mobile phone you are trying has been switched off.
Oh,
Please call again later.
She's switched off her phone, maybe because she was taking a session.
Amrita, can you hear me?
Yes, now,
Yes,
now you're back. You're back.
Off. It said reconnecting. Okay. So like I said, I was very anti the whole testing thing. I did not want it to happen, but some children wanted it very much and some teachers wanted it very much. So we have introduced tests to the children, and I think that to assess if the online teaching has been effective or not. So of course, again, the short tests which are done at the end of every concept, that has worked very well, because immediately the teacher knows that if question 3 of a certain concept was wrong by the entire class, that means she went wrong somewhere explaining it. That means that she has to redo that bit on her own. But in case everybody's done well, it somehow gives a nice feel that, what was taught has been taught effectively, has been taught well, and has been learned well as well. What I did was that I have made it optional for the children. I have asked the children to create report cards for themselves. I can't make the report card. It's not possible. Design your own report card. So an element of art has come in. Give yourself the mark and maintain it in a certain way, and ask your parents to sign up. Now, for all the children, again, it's a trust building exercise. I said, if you give yourself 10 upon 10, when in actual fact you've got 5 upon 10, who are you fooling end of the day? So it was a bit of an eye-opener for the children, because they realized, I was very happy that they realized that, ma'am, all this while that we have been looking here and there and, getting that 1 extra mark, or cheating 2 marks worth somewhere, or telling a teacher, ma'am, you did not mark this question, we realized we did something very bad. So a realization like that, I think, is the biggest learning and the biggest achievement of the school system if we've managed to do that. The second, after the standardized test to check effectiveness of teaching, my second parameter would be, are the children enjoying the class? And that feedback goes anonymously from every class to the class rep, who's able to see whether the children, I mean, how do you know a child is enjoying? Only they're attending. Today, again, in this element of, in this environment of trust, the child can just say, ma'am, I'm not enjoying it at all. I'd rather not attend class. I'll do it on my own. Or he can log in, put himself on, close his camera and go back to sleep. What stops us? I mean, what stops him from doing that? But the fact that they're attending and enjoying is my way of assessing the effectiveness of a teacher and of a class. For me, the teacher's view is also very important. Is she enjoying the class? Is she enjoying this teaching learning process? Because now is the big whammy I'm telling you. This online learning is here to stay for a long, long time. Anybody who's saying that classes will start again in the middle of July or middle of August, this is all conjecture. What we have to get ready for and get used to is the fact that possibly senior classes will be called, junior school will not be called, middle school will not be called, maybe till November, December. We don't know. So in that situation, we are looking forward to a situation as what we call blended learning or hybrid learning. That there will be some online work happening, there'll be something offline. Where real, face-to-face classes will also happen. This is something we're waiting for from the government. So they will let us know whether children will be allowed on 2 days of the week, or will only junior school come on Mondays and only senior school will come on Wednesdays and only middle school will come on Fridays. We don't know how it's going to work. But one thing is for sure, that the schools that we had till 15th of March 2020 will no longer exist for many months. Let us accept that. Jab ye accept kar loge, you will find solutions also. So how are we dividing our classes? So again, part of my effective online teaching comes over here. What we have thought is we are going to have the odd even pattern. On the odd dates, we'll have the odd roll numbers. On the even dates, we'll have the even roll numbers. But while the even roll numbers are inside the class and the odd numbers are at their homes, the teacher's laptop will be open. And while she's giving a lecture to the even numbers, the odd numbers are receiving the lecture on Zoom or on Microsoft or on Google in their homes. So it won't be that the chapter, that the concept will go over 2 days. The teacher will have to repeat it twice. No, she doesn't have to repeat. She's doing it just once. And some children are getting it in real time and some are getting it online. That's the only difference. So for that, the infrastructure change that will come in, you will have to have more robust Wi-Fi inside the school. Every teacher will have to have a device which will carry to class. Maybe if the teacher doesn't have it, we'll have to create one for her, because this can't happen on the phone. We will need laptops inside the classrooms. So this kind of an environment is here to stay. So in case the online teaching learning is not absolutely A1 now, in the past 8 weeks, there is still time to make it A1. And I think every teacher has it in her or him to make this an absolute success. If they have enjoyed teaching, if they have enjoyed reaching out to children, this is created a boundaryless canvas for them. Because right now you are only teaching your little group of children. Now if you have a podcast, you're reaching out to thousands, right? So I'm open for questions now in case you have any. I think.
Yes, I'll just moderate that. So I think that was a very, very practical approach, and something that we've also been struggling with. We've got a few answers, but I think from Aditi today, we've got some very good answers and some food for thought too. So thank you so much for that. It's thrown open for questions. You can raise your hand on the participants bar. Aditya sir, you can moderate on FB in case you get some questions on FB. Please just chip in and ask those questions. Can I have the hands raised on the participants bar? So Aditi, in the meanwhile, while people are still thinking about their questions, I just wanted to, though you gave me an answer to one thing which has been playing on my mind, attendance. Like attendance, what I notice in quite a few of the classes, especially the seniors, goes well for some time, dips at times, really dips. And then, then we talk to each other, teacher, I guess the principals also speak to the teachers, and then somehow it comes up. How are you managing, besides making classes interesting? That's one answer you gave. that you have to be good.
Mm.
Children will come to the class. Anything else
Yeah.
that you're really looking into for attendance?
So, yeah, school was, this is the time. Traditionally, the vacation used to start around the 17th or 18th in most schools in North India.
Yes.
So a lot of coaching centers, the Akashas and the Vidya Mandirs and the Fitjis, all of them start their coaching in the morning.
Right.
Okay, because it's time technically. So the children wrote to me, said, ma'am, now we are caught. We want to attend school class, but we have the VMC class also. Now what do we do?
Yeah.
So we've created a situation for them because these are all good kids. Tomorrow when they get into IIT, we'll be tom-tomming their success also. So
Yeah.
let us be nice. We have a system of recording the lecture.
Okay.
So those who have not attended class can see the recorded lecture later in the day. And the teacher will come to know the next day when she starts her class, after the initial chit chat about how the day was and if they're feeling all right or would they like to sing a song or something. In the next 5 minutes, she does do a recap. And she makes it a point to ask those who were missing yesterday, the previous day.
Right.
We'll ask them. And she gets the answer. She knows that they have seen the lecture which has been recorded and kept for them.
Right. So
But I
you
think
think
in senior
that has also attended. Sorry.
they're more alert. I think they have understood that this is here to stay. It is not going away. So bunking a one class or two is either bunk completely or drop out of school. That's wonderful. Do your own thing. But if you are in school, then you please toe the line and attend, unless it's a genuinely serious reason, in which case we are there to support and help in whatever way possible.
Right. The other question that I have is there's a lot of discussion, even on a lot of webinars you've been also attending, speaking about overemphasis on academics and, let's not just make this academics and let's make it skill based. I completely agree to a blend of, observation and other skills that I think are important, because these days also not going to come back. There has to be mindfulness
Right.
to make the most out of
Yes.
this situation, right? But at the same time, when there are so many talks about why the hell are you guys going so crazy about academics, then I start wondering, is my team, because we are also pretty academically based, and yes, skills and all are there, but it's academics
Yes.
to a large extent.
Yeah.
What is the
Yeah.
right way forward?
So what we have done, there are some schools I heard who are running classes from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. like a regular school. I refuse to do that. Again, I like to do things a little democratically. It takes the heat off me. For example, I'll give another, this is completely off the topic, but for the past 25 years, I have not made a date sheet. I let the children make it. I give them the dates कि exam 7 सितंबर पे शुरू होने हैं और 20 सितंबर में खत्म होने हैं. अपने आप बताओ कौन सा एग्जाम कब होएगा and how many breaks do you want? In that situation, when it's given to the group, they cannot crib about it, na? करो, but ये बता देती हूँ कि please don't put English at the last day for all of you because that's the least stressful. तो सब लोग English में last में तो teachers all try then because the same lot of teachers for 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. ये बता देते कि भाई English को stagger कर देना, Maths को भी stagger कर देना, but make the timetable. In the same way, and I think, getting children involved, getting everyone involved is going to be the way forward. Because we asked them whether they were enjoying. We sent some videos of music and dance also, for example. We sent them some videos of art. And that I found the children really enjoyed because it is a stress buster. So when the lockdown had just started, in fact, 23rd was the first official lockdown. Monday ka din tha, I remember. I attended classes. I attended about 14, 15 classes every day. I hopped from one class to the other. I just chat for 4 or 5 minutes just to get a sense. Around the 29th or 30th, I just felt that class 11 and 12 sounded so down. I thought I'm going to get depressed. So I said, what in बच्चों को? कोई uncertainty क्या होगा मैम, हमारे predicted scores का क्या होगा, हमारे admission का क्या होगा? I said, जो होगा will happen to the whole globe. सिर्फ तुम्हारे ऊपर नहीं हो रहा है जो भी problem है. So there'll be a system, there'll be something in place. Don't worry about it. But then to alleviate that depressive, heavy kind of a thing, I felt I wanted to do something to make them laugh. The only way you can make people laugh is make a clown out of yourself. So we made a little video where I and my leadership team did a extremely stupid dance. But we danced. We danced with our ponchas, we danced with our bartans, we danced with our chakku and churi. But it became such... I'll share that also on Facebook. It went all over. In fact, I have a cousin in US who wrote to me. She says, what on earth went wrong with you? What were you drinking? I said, no, I don't drink. I said, make my kids laugh.
Yeah.
So I think we have to balance the two. So where it comes to skilling, we are sending little recipes, cooking without fire to middle school once a week. We are sending stuff to senior school, music, dance, art, but to be done in the evening. Morning, those 4 are purely for academics. I'm sorry if parents think there's too much of emphasis on academics, but tomorrow the same parents will say कि मैम पढ़ाई तो कराई नहीं आपने.
Right.
So we actually a tightrope, and in that tightrope we have to ensure we don't fall on either side. So I'm walking the tightrope. I'm saying academics होएगा, 4 घंटा होगा, and fun and games will happen. So yoga videos are sent. I can share those also with you if you want.
Right.
There's one very cute thing which the children with exercising with football, if you please. Boys have loved it because not only is it creative, but it's also giving some energy निकल रही है उसमें वो exercises करने में. बच्चे थक रहे हैं. It's very important for them to be tired, not here but physically.
Right.
So that has been my way that we are sort of balancing the two, and we are encouraging parents to help children make videos and send it to us. We've taken a YouTube channel. You can go on that if you want. DPS Gurgaon Sector 45. Lot of these videos you'll find there on art, on music, on dance. On we had to have our we opened school on 29th of April 2002. उस दिन को भी मनाना था हमको, अब स्कूल में तो थे नहीं हम. So we did a little sing song. Lot of teachers are creative and they sing. So we did that. So somehow creative pursuits on celluloid has been a stress buster for most of us. So encouraging that to a large extent has really helped, because I think I'm fighting this malady of mental health also. It's because it's not spoken about too much. So हमने बच्चों को ये भी बोला है that between this time and this time you can reach out to a counselor, you can reach out to a teacher, you can reach out to a peer. I have a very strong alumni connect also, Amrita. So there are a lot of students who mentor class 11. They come and talk to them about their journeys, and they have given their own timings. So if somebody who's an architect and is free from 5 to 6, she's given her time.
Right.
There's somebody who for Teach for India, he's given his time between 2 and 4. He says after lunch, I don't want to sleep, so I can chat with children. So get email ID or numbers दे दिए हैं. So children only sort of send them ping them a message, and they can chat with them. Because थोड़ा stressful situation in a sense है, unusual होने के साथ, when both parents are working from home and a child is feeling stressed out. School में क्या था? They would chat with a friend. They would huddle in a corner and talk about it. अब तो वो हो नहीं रहा. So who should they talk to? And it need not go to a counselor. Sometimes you only want people to listen without even offering a solution. कई बार solution नहीं है. मुझे आज खाना नहीं बनाने का मन है. अब क्या solution है इसका? बाहर से भी नहीं मंगा सकते. भूखा भी नहीं मरना है. Just talk about it. You find you have another friend who says, I didn't want to cook, so I just made Maggie and then I ate it up. खत्म. एक दिन Maggie खाने से कुछ नहीं होएगा.
I know.
So I think those conversations are very important.
Right. Great. Very nice. So any questions? I don't see any raised hands. Maybe a lot of their queries have been answered in any case.
Thank you. So I always say there are
Yeah,
no questions. Either the teacher is really bad or really good.
Aditi ma'am, I want to ask you something. Yeah.
Bharti, please call me Aditi.
Yeah. Okay, Aditi, how do you keep your staff motivated? Because sometimes not everyone is very excited, especially my younger lot is very, very excited. And if they have the right leader, so they are very motivated. But yes, some of them are, playing victim also, kitna kaam karna pad raha hai, and even the garmi ki chutti is spread out. So how do you keep them motivated?
So I have been sending small messages to the teachers from time to time. I think in Gurgaon, there was something very scary that a lot of schools slashed the salaries of teachers. And some not slashed, but किसी ने 10%, 20%, 30%, कुछ कम हुई हैं. So we are one of the schools among many, I'm sure, which have ensured the teachers will get the full salary. I think that was a very basic level, great motivator that everybody got their salaries. Besides that, we talk. I have conversations on one way that we are all living in tough times. ये unusual time है, ये निकल जाएगा. So if you're feeling very, very persecuted, and if you're feeling you just can't carry on, good idea to move away. Resign and go. मैंने तो बोल दिया. Because in one sense there is a lot of stress because घर का काम भी है, सुबह जल्दी उठना है, बच्चों को संभालना है, अगर in-laws हैं उनको भी देखना है, सब कुछ करके खाना बना के फिर क्लास देना है. On the other hand, the work is much less. There is no bus duty, there is no break duty, there is hardly any correction. So look at the positives. I mean, just weigh the two. आप normally 6 घंटे busy होते थे काम में, अब आप 3 घंटे की क्लास लेते हैं. So the work has reduced also. It's a balance. So एक तरह से काम बढ़ गया है, एक तरह से काम घट गया है, तो दोनों cancel हो गए. You are as you were. Now what is happening here is up to you. तुम उसको negatively ले लो, so that is your wish. अगर आप उसको positively ले लो, you know, I'm very blessed. I have a house, I have a job, I'm getting my salary, I have a wonderful team to work with. You immediately feel motivated. And what I do every week, I will share with you. I send a little message to the teachers. You're doing a great job. I'm getting lovely messages. And parent का कोई message आता है, I don't keep it to myself. I immediately send it to the headmistress, who shares it with her own team of teachers. कि देखो parents ने ये लिखा. And parents have sent very nice messages. I must admit, उतनी सारी fees नहीं आई है, but messages बड़े अच्छे आए हैं. Frankly.
True. Just one more question which came to my mind. Actually, two. What are you doing? What are you maximum doing? Because we are all in the same boat to get fees which the parents are not paying. What is the methodology that you've adopted? Number two, what has been your pattern of summer break? Because then I'll be able to share certain things that we are also doing a little different. Yeah.
So, okay. So for the fees, Gurgaon, Haryana was quite clear that we have to take only the tuition fee. No annual fee, no transport fee. मैंने उसमें अपने आप meal fee भी add कर दिया और lab fee भी add कर दिया because labs are not being used. Let's not be unfair. Okay. And I immediately sent it out in the first week of April itself. Before the government came down heavy, मैंने अपने आप ही ये बना के भेज दिया सबको. So I was pleasantly surprised that almost 40% of the parents paid about the entire quarter. जबकि हमने अपना वेबसाइट भी हमने अपना ARP भी चेंज कर दिया कि मंथली फीस लेनी है. गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया ना कि मंथली लेना है, क्वार्टरली नहीं लेना. हमने चेंज कर दिया, but still 40% paid the entire quarter. उसके बाद only 10% have paid for the month. अब we are not supposed to put pressure. We're not supposed to give a last date. We're not supposed to take late fee. तो मैंने बड़ी gently thank you letter भेजा कि thank you for paying the fees. Without the fees, the school cannot run. ये मैंने लिख दिया है. उसके बाद about 30-40 fees coming every day. बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं आ रहे. I believe on Monday the cases coming up for hearing again, where I think in Chandigarh they have already said that 31st May you should have paid April and May का fee. अगर वो हमारे साथ भी आ जाता, then we are very comfortable and very happy. But अगर वो नहीं आता, between you and me, there's still nothing we can do. This is as gentle a prod I can give by saying thank you for paying the fees. My school cannot run without your fees because fees translate into salaries. Right. That's all. Right. So that is working. The second question about the vacation, again, like I said, I work democratically. मैंने तो एक भेज दिया था survey फिर से. I asked teachers, are you feeling stressed out? Yes, no. Do you want someone to talk to? Yes, no. If yes, who would you rather talk to? The principal, your headmistress, a counselor, a peer, somebody in the family, a friend? Choices दे दिए. अच्छा, काफी अच्छा उसका review आया कि no, we've been given adequate training. Stress comes only with lack of training. तो हमारी training और हमें empowerment इतना मिल गया कि हमारी कोई घबराहट नहीं है. ठीक है. I asked this also. Do you want a vacation? How long should the vacation be? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, as usual. कैसे करना है? 98% said no vacation.
Achha. Okay.
Which is what I wanted to hear between you and me, because I don't want to give a vacation.
Right.
In this situation, जहाँ पर आप बाहर नहीं निकल सकते, आप friends से नहीं मिल सकते, आप film नहीं दे सकते, आप vacation में करोगे क्या?
True.
It's the recipe for depression, according to me. So what we have done is we have cancelled the vacation as it stands, and I've sent the letter out to the parents.
Okay.
What we are doing is after every 2.5 weeks, we are giving a 4-5 day break. उसमें आपको binge watch करना है, Netflix आपको binge watch करना है, पाताल लोक आपको जो करना है कर लो. But after 2.5 weeks, so we have one long break. जो ये वाला weekend था, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I gave off.
Okay.
Now we are working full steam till the 11th of June.
Okay.
फिर 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, I think. I hope I'm not giving you the wrong dates. हमने वैसे करके 4 दिन off दे दिए. फिर again we'll work for the next 2 weeks और end of June में 26 से 30 तक हम फिर छुट्टी दे देंगे 5 दिन की. So end of June तक we would have given about 20 days off.
Okay. Great.
but on and off, on and off, on and off.
Okay, great. So we've also, Aditi had pretty much a formula similar to that. We've given 30 days break, in fact, to the staff, thinking same thing,
Okay.
domestic issues, things like that, or whatever. Let them have a little break. But what we've done is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have classes. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is off. All, of course, Eid, etc. was off. And then
Wow.
from 18th of June to the 2nd of July, about 12 days, we've just given them off कि चलो एकदम break ले लो and have fun, because we also, like you mentioned, started our
Achha.
online classes from the first day of when the schools were supposed to start. So we thought just give them a break, but we didn't want to go off completely because we wanted that,
तो हमारा problem पता है क्या था? I have a very active parent rep group also, elected parent reps. मैंने उनसे बहुत लंबी बात करी. ऐसे जब हमने शुरू किया था, we started our classes on 23rd of March. It took 2-3 days for children to get into the groove.
Right.
अगर मैं लंबा ब्रेक देती हूँ तो मुझे वो ग्रूव में लाने में फिर समय लगेगा. 5-6 दिन में कोई नहीं भूल रहा कि क्या होना है. So I give 5-6 days break. It's enough to relax, reinvent yourself, chill for a while, do what you want and come back. And
Great.
अभी तक एक ब्रेक हुआ है. Everybody was ecstatic about it. So I'm also very happy. हमें एक और चीज करनी पड़ी. I must tell you, in the middle and the junior school we do classes on alternate days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Middle school ke parents somehow both are working, and probably they are working in a situation which is more stressful in the morning.
Right.
So an overwhelming majority opted for classes in the afternoon.
Yes.
So middle school की classes होती है 2 से 5 तक.
ठीक है.
They asked for it because they said कि post lunch office work is thoda sa less. There are not so many meetings. There are not so many team operations happening. So we can give away our device or sit with the child.
Right.
So we have tried to adjust to the parents' rhythm as much as possible.
Right. That's a
pre-primary में तो हमने फिर podcast किए हुए हैं.
That's a suggestion I gave my team just yesterday, that if they, because they did mention that some of the parents, both of them are working. I said then you can speak to your own team and go in for afternoon classes, evening classes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
Nobody's objected to that so far. So I've got my fingers crossed. अब तो 10 हफ्ते हो गए, अभी तक तो किसी ने कंप्लेन नहीं किया, तो ठीक ही चल रहा होगा, I suppose.
Sure.
I keep taking feedback from the parent groups. I have some friends whose cousins and all are here. I have some ex-students who are now parents of the school. So they will tell me honestly. अगर वो जरा सा भी rumbling सुनते हैं, वो बता देते कि मैम ऐसी बातें हो रही हैं.
Great.
So it's worked well.
Great. Lovely. So any other questions coming our way? Aditya sir, do you see anything on Facebook?
Yeah, ma'am, from the Facebook, there is a parent who is basically asked, and I think so, Mr. Arvind Singh, he is the hostel superintendent of Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. He has a question on the same line. They write, during this time, what will be the strategy in maintaining the morale and motivation among the students, especially of the higher classes?
I think I've answered that they need to talk. I think conversation mitigates a lot of stress and tension. Sometimes there is a stressful situation which doesn't have a solution. Solution हर चीज का नहीं है, but एक बार से बात करने में बहुत बच्चों को relief मिलता है. That can happen through peers. You can have peer interactions with just a counselor sitting. There can be interaction of a group of children with an alumni who can also talk to them and tell them कि नहीं सब ठीक हो जाएगा. Don't worry. The world will be a healed place after a while. So I think conversations are vital, because without conversation there is a chance of bottling up and depression. I think all of you have read about and heard about that boys locker room incident also.
Yes.
I think much of it happened because there was inadequate conversation. जब बच्चों से कोई सवाल जवाब नहीं होंगे, जब बच्चे अपने natural queries about their bodies, about their changes, about sex, about orientation towards sex नहीं होएगा, तो बच्चे फिर ऐसी बेवकूफियों में पड़ जाएंगे. So I think it is very important that we are able to talk. और अगर हम comfortable नहीं है, तो we take help from somebody else. There's no harm. हम क्यों घबराते हैं इन बातों से? हम क्यों नहीं ट्रस्ट करते अपने बच्चों को? हम क्यों नहीं ट्रस्ट करते किसी काउंसलर को that they will be able to talk and din some sense into children and get them to feel upbeat? इसमें क्या डिप्रेशन की बात है? आप पहले, मैं तो कहती हूँ टीवी खोल लो, you will feel good about yourself when you see the miserable plight of the migrant workers. My heart weeps and I do a silent prayer कि हम कितने लकी हैं, हमारे पास घर है, हमारे पंखा बत्ती चल रहा है, हमारे पास टीवी है, हमारे पास एक जॉब है, किताबें हैं. ये जो हमारे घर बनाते हैं, जो हमारा बोझा ढोते हैं, ये चलते जा रहे हैं कोसों कोसों दूर. I read about how Sunbeam is helping out, by the way. It was such a heartening news that you gave your buses to transport migrant workers. We offered our buses to the DC as well, that if we can't go towards Delhi because Delhi border was sealed, but we offered towards Rajasthan. क्योंकि हमारा एक बॉर्डर राजस्थान से भी है कि किसी को भी राजस्थान माइग्रेंट वर्कर है, हमारी बसेस हैं, हम कितनी नंबर ऑफ बसेस हम भेज देंगे, आप बता दीजिए. But we were not told. I don't know why. For whatever reason, maybe they had made their arrangements with the state transport buses. But I think children should feel grateful. ये feeling of gratitude जब तक नहीं आएगी तो वो बच्चे can feel a little depressed. एक बड़ा interesting game होता है gratitude jar करके. तो घर में अगर 4 जने हैं या 5 जने हैं, सब लोग को हर संडे को एक चीज लिखनी है what they are grateful for. It could be food, it could be AC, it could be mama, it could be papa, it could be friends, it could be Netflix, it could be television, it could be anything under the sun. और हर 4 हफ्ते के बाद एक संडे को वो 16 पर्चियां खोलिए and count your blessings. I challenge कौन depressed feel कर सकता है इसके बाद. There's no reason for depression here.
Great. I think that's a lovely game to play. We have a question from Gurmeet ma'am. Gurmeet ma'am is Principal Sunbeam Bhagwanpur. Gurmeet ma'am, over to you, please.
Good morning. And it was really nice listening to you, because a lot of things which we were doing, actually we didn't knew we are going right or wrong. But yes, occasionally when we took the feedback from the parents and the teachers, and the students as well, we get to know, okay, this is not the right direction, move on this side. But yes, it was very great learning. Something I would like to share what we have been doing, and that was great. I think it went fine because a lot of feedbacks came. Like every day in the morning, I do share a welcome note early morning. So, on any motivational talk, whether it is, how to how to grasp, do certain things, or maybe a motivating Hindi poem, or maybe a Hindi poem, or maybe a story reading, which has a moral lecture with it. And that went very well. Even the parents gave a feedback, and even the teachers felt, ma'am, we also listen, although it is for the students. So that was something
very nice.
And what you told about the counseling, that was very good. Where we had our counselor every day talking to one full section, where she just talks casually to them without any, as such a content. And she talks, how is it going? And she herself told back a very good thing which has started and which is going on fine. So that helped really, that emotional touch was really nice what the counselor did. And then also with class, what I felt was we all started suddenly having the online classes and this and that, and we were in the midst of having the board exams. And from the snap homework from other groups, definitely the pass outs 12th were out. And there was like hardly any touch with them. Then we created a WhatsApp group of all the students who were giving the board exams, because then we wanted to find out how are they doing, how are they well-being, and also guiding them for their future college admissions, any webinars coming. And we told them that don't get very upset, as and when CBSE gives, we'll give you the guideline. You need to talk to your teachers, please get in touch. The career counselor was there all throughout with them. And even now we have the group, and it was essential for even the pass outs, because with the present we were doing.
Gurmeet ma'am, what is the question? I'm hanging on to every word looking for the question.
No, I was just trying to share with you also. And also, whatever you gave the suggestions, that was really, looking forward to few. Like we had problems with assessment, which I got a solution from you, that how do we go about, whether it is a peer, whether it is, teacher and all. So that was really great. So thank you for all the information. It was a very ground, solutions which were given, I would say.
I only work on ground reality. What I do.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
2 weeks ago, I must share with you, 2 weeks ago, we started assemblies in the senior classes.
Yeah.
Just for 10-15 minutes in the morning, we give them the theme, and the children, like what Gurmeet ma'am was talking about, telling a motivational story or a poem, the children do it. why should I be the repository of all Gyan? Let the children read and also share. So we gave them every cloud has a silver lining. That was one of the themes. And I was amazed at the self-composed poetry some of the children shared. Very nicely done. And they sang a song also. Like you have in a normal assembly, one child read out the prayer, somebody read out a poem, someone sang a song, and that was it. Just a little, and everybody will, by the 1st of June, everybody would have got a chance to say or do something in the assembly.
Lovely, lovely. There are a few things, of course, that we are doing, but then, we've got some wonderful ideas from you. I've taken down notes, little notes, and I think these...
I'll share with you.
Yeah, please.
I'll share with you the other things which we've been doing, the videos and all that we've created. I'll share them with you.
Yeah, please. And I'll share it
we
with
also
them.
did a little online scholar badge ceremony.
Okay.
Because we had 3 slated for April and 3 for May, and there's no way we can have it. So we said that let's just do it online. So a small speech from me, a little presentation of the children over there, because now they're in their own homes. We don't know how to get them together. There can't be any music and dance happening. So just some pictures randomly placed together. And then we had every child's photo and his name and his achievements. And parents watched, and it was nice because now parents can share this video with anybody, with their uncles, aunts, nani, dadi, everybody can watch it.
Making them feel...
Otherwise there's a big...
True.
Yeah.
Thank you. Lovely. Very good suggestions. I would like to request Bharti ma'am to please give her formal vote of thanks. And then we wind up. Thank you so much.
I think I already have spoken, Aditi. Thanks a lot. And let's hear from Pratima ma'am. I can see her also. Pratima ma'am? Yeah, you can give vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much. Well, I think the vote of thanks to you, Aditi ma'am, would be to simply give a round of applause straight from the heart for actually talking about very, very practical issues. And we have, of course, talked and met before also, but what has always sort of impacted me is your very, very simple and no-nonsense approach to everything around you, not to say the positivity also that you radiate. I'm sure, or if there weren't no questions, if there weren't many questions today, it's because in your talk, we have actually found answers. So thank you so much for being with us today and enriching us.
Thank you. Thank you, Pratima.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aditi. Thank you for
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
you.
All the best.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Bye, Amrita.
Yeah,
Lovely catching you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. It was very nice, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sunbeam. Shine on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.